Hi everyone, it's great to be back. Wanted to show you what I'm about to do and what I'm about to cook. Oops, make sure that stove's not hot. But anyway, thank you so much for your patience. Depression is deep. I will be talking about what we've endured on top of the loss of our family. But anyway, let's get to the cooking. That'll be another day. So I have some zucchini, I have squash from the garden. I have some shredded carrots. So you could do so much with garden vegetables. They're usually pretty cheap in America. But anyway, if you slice your squash and your zucchini long ways like this, you can make, use this as noodles to make a vegetable lasagna. So all you gotta do is put down your sauce, put down some ricotta, and put down layers of vegetables. So I would use the zucchini and the squash, shred it. You could either shred it too. You could shred the zucchini, the squash, and the carrots. Carrots give it a nice sweetness. I have some eggplant that I have grown. It's an Italian eggplant, and I like it because it's small, very, very tasty. And I keep the skin on this one because it's really good for you. You know, the vitamins in it. So anyway, so I have, you can shred them, like I said. You can make a vegetable lasagna. You can cut it that way. You could dice it, shred it. And like I said, just sauce, ricotta, and then you put your vegetables all down. And then you're gonna repeat 3 or 4 layers. And always garnish it with the very top with spaghetti sauce and some mozzarella, you know, in between the layers with the ricotta. And then top it off with the sauce and the ricotta. I mean, forgive me, top it off with the spaghetti sauce and the mozzarella. So these are diced for frying, and these are chips. So you could take these, and you can rub some olive oil on them, put them on a baking sheet with nonstick tin foil, and you can bake them. You can dehydrate them. You can make them into potato chips. You can fry them and sprinkle a little kosher salt on it, whatever you want. But they're very good for chips. So I wanted to show you. And you could eat all this raw, or you could steam it. So we're about to cook it. I have enough olive oil in this pan, as you can see on the bottom, just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. So I'm gonna kick that heat up. I have some tomatoes. I wanted to talk to you also about tomatoes. When I make a cold pasta, the only way I'll put a tomato in is if it's whole, like a cherry tomato, because they rot so fast and they'll spoil your salad. So I never really add my cut tomatoes to any pasta that's cold salad unless I'm gonna do it that day and eat it. Otherwise, I'll use cherry tomatoes. So that's with anything, really. So this will make it go bad fast, and this won't. I've got my chopped garlic. I used probably about 4 or 5 heads, cloves rather, and then chopped it up. So got some olive oil in there. And this is gonna go in my saute. Get some heat on this. I'm gonna add some Italian seasonings. Okay. So I don't usually measure. I just judge. So I'm gonna make 1 pound of pasta to my mixed vegetables. So that's probably maybe 2 level tablespoons. And I love parsley. So another thing I wanted to talk to you about too is if you're adding fresh garlic, you don't need to use any garlic salt. You just don't need to. So pick one or the other, either garlic salt or just fresh garlic. Hit that with a little salt, a good pinch. some pepper. And if you want to have a little heat with this, you could add some red flakes. But I'm not doing it to this one. I'm going to add my garlic. I have frozen onions. That's probably maybe a 1.5, but I like onions, so. I'm gonna add my tomatoes. Add your vegetables, the ones that you cut in cubes. That's going to be in your pasta. You don't have to add eggplant if you don't want eggplant. If you get a little bit of carrot in there, you're good, you're fine. Carrot makes it sweet, and it's natural, so it's great. I'm gonna add my eggplant because I love vegetables, so I'm gonna add my eggplant. I'm going to cut a little more. I grew these in the garden. They usually grow to be like 2 inches thick, to about 10 to 12 inches long. As long as you have pasta in your house and or rice, you'll never go hungry. Wrap from the bottom. Give it a good sauce. Don't be afraid to freeze your bell peppers, your onions, because they go in the refrigerator really fast. You know, the onions last pretty long, but I still always cut and clean and dice, you know, slice them and put them in my, excuse me, freezer. This way I always have onion, mushrooms if I want it. I freeze everything. My bell peppers so they don't go bad because you know how they get flimsy real fast. Let's put a lid on that for a minute. So I freeze my bell peppers. Wash, clean them, you know. Washing them is just salt water. So I wash all my vegetables in salt water. And then I rinse them thoroughly to get rid of the salt. That's my little girl barking. So I had made homemade pesto and I froze it. So I'm gonna take these, so it's olive oil and just, you know, with pesto with pine nuts, olive oil, and fresh basil. So if you want, you take 2 of those and pop them in there. And the rest I'm gonna put in a freezer bag. I wanted to say that, excuse me, thank you again for being so patient. Like I said, depression is you got to try to find a reason to get up in the morning. And I've been really, really busy, to be honest with you. I just don't sit around. I have a lot to do and a lot to take care of, and people I look after, and lots of animals. I'm always pretty busy. Let's give that a toss. So if you look on the bottom, you see the natural zoogie from the vegetables. And then use that condensation on here to go back in. And you don't want to cook it to death. You just want to give it a nice, where it's kind of like fork tender, but you don't want to overcook it. Too bad there wasn't smell-o-vision. You guys wouldn't believe how well it smells. Oops, missed the stove. I'm gonna put a lid on that again. Give it another minute. And ladies, clean up as you go along. It makes life so much easier. So someone had made a comment to me about they're running out of ideas what to make, what to cook. Easier said than done, you know. But I promise you, if you have, like say maybe cooked potatoes, ladies, like boil some potatoes on your day off, and make some pasta, make some things to make your week easier, prepping your meals. Like, so if you made, say you boiled 5 pounds of potatoes, and you cooled them down, you stuck them in the refrigerator with the skin still on. My gosh, you can make anything with that during the week, just anything. You can make potato salad. You can make quick diced potatoes with your breakfast in the morning with some onions. There's just so much. You could have a baked potato during the week. It's just when you work all day and you come home, you just really don't want to cook. And it just makes life easier. I also do that with pasta. So this is done. I'm gonna take it off the heat. Doesn't that smell yummy? Give it a good toss. So tomorrow, I'll do another video. There's so much you could do with this, okay? So much you could do with this. So this I could add with pasta. I could add it to my scrambled eggs. I can add it to my spaghetti sauce. Gosh almighty. So much. Just trust me when I tell you. This is such a delicious meal. If you want to toss in shrimp, you can. You want to put in some, I'm going to show you with the pasta. I'm going to set some aside because I got other things I wanted to. I don't want to use it all for my pasta. I want to set some aside, and I'll show you that tomorrow. Okay? I don't need any zoogie with that one. So remember the secret I told you about the tomatoes. Any salad that you make sure it's cherry tomatoes. Don't cut them because then they just go bad too fast. we ready for this? Let me move my phone. There we go. All the zoogie and all. Right in. Set that aside because it's super hot. Toss it in your pasta. So don't drain the zoogie because you're gonna need that. Give it a good toss. Let me get some cheese, grated Parmigiano. And you can always add more Parmesan cheese when you need it, like, or when you serve it. I'm a handful kind of girl, so one good handful. And a little more salt and pepper. I'm gonna add some pepper. Give it a good toss. Let it cool down completely and stick it in the refrigerator. So these are the things you can make with your garden. And what a beautiful side dish. Like if you want to have pork chops or even a steak and have that on the side, you have all your garden vegetables in here. You just can't beat it, right? Well, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you're enjoying my videos, and thank you for all the prayers that you say for my family. You have no idea what that means to me and my family. Thank you all, and enjoy, and God bless.